Our next speaker, our second speaker this morning, is NACo President and Dekalb County Commissioner Larry Johnson. And Commissioner Larry Johnson was elected to the Dekalb County Board of Commissioners in November of 2002, making him one of the youngest ever to be elected to serve in this capacity. He was reelected for his fifth term in November of 2018. Commissioner Johnson is passionate about services that benefit youth and improve health. His commitment to health captured the attention of former First Lady Michelle Obama, and he became involved in her national Let's Move campaign. Commissioner Larry Johnson was elected president of the National Association of Counties in July of 2021. Commissioner Johnson graduated from the University of Illinois with a bachelor's degree in community health, and he later earned a master's degree in public health from the University of Northern Colorado. Please join me in welcoming NACo President Larry Johnson.
All right. Good morning. It's good to be here. And I got the governor already finished, and you got the motivational speaker, and I'm in the middle of all of that. And so I'm going to try to practice the 3 B's: be specific, be brief, and be gone. But I just want to say thank you to VACo and what you all have done to make a difference. And thank you to the president. And he's one of the finest in Fairfax County, and he has done a great job in terms of making a difference and making things happen. So thank you, Mr. President. Give him a great hand, y'all. President McKay, of course, all of this, you can have 700 people strong at your state association. You haven't met like we did in Georgia. I just left Savannah about 2 days ago. Then 2 days before that, I was in Arizona. And we had one of those attendants that we hadn't seen in a long time. So I want to thank your executive director, Dean Lynch. He's a dean, y'all. He's a dean, Dean Lynch, and the staff of VACo. Great job and great hospitality. I came in and he had that big long table, so I knew they were important last night. They had the Fairfax County folks all at the table, and he was sitting at the head. And I said, "Oh man, this must be an important meeting," because nobody else was in the place. And so I went over there and just said, "Hey" to everybody, and they welcomed me. So thank you, Virginia, for the nice hospitality. I appreciate that. But I also want to recognize some of the NACo board members from Virginia. And these are the folks who sit at the table to help make sure that the policies, the needs and concerns of Virginia is met on a national level. I want Rockingham County Chairman Bill Geiger to stand up. Where are you? Oh, there he is. Hey. Thank you, sir. I am coming to home. Is it Homestead? Next year. I want to come. You're going 2 years, 2 years. I might go next year. Won't nobody be there, but I'll come in 2 years. And I want to thank your fire chief, Dan Eggleston. Where are you, sir? Where the fire chief? You always got to give it up for the fire chiefs. Where are they? Where is he? He might be putting out a fire, but thank you. Appreciate you so much. Give him a great hand. Also, I want my appointees that I've appointed as a president. You get to appoint about 700 people. And do we have any appointees I've appointed? Would you please stand in the room? Oh, man. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. You got some dynamic folks. And thank you to our, I put Miss Mitchell, who's Loudoun County chairwoman. She is our healthy counties. And so, I'm into health, and health is your wealth. And I tell people, if you've been through this pandemic, I don't care if you're the strongest person in the world, mentally and physically, this has taken a toll on you like anybody else. I mean, you look at suicide rates, you look at divorce rates, and I just want to commend you all as counties officials on how you have stayed the course. I told the president and I tell people in the cabinet, I say, counties didn't have to get ready. We stay ready. So give yourselves a great hand. Thank you so much. And just thank you, Miss Chairwoman Randall, who has helped me guide and strengthen our path to wellness. And thank you, her leadership. I mean, she's strong. And she patted me on the back when I lost by 30 votes before in Tennessee. She said, "You better get back in there." You know, when Phyllis tell you something, you got to do it. And so I want to thank you for your encouragement, your inspiration, and you make a difference. So thank you. Give it up for her, Phyllis Randall. We have about nearly 95% of Virginia is members of NACo, and we need that 5%. So if the 5%ers are in the room somewhere, please see me because I really want to talk to you on how NACo is able to deliver for counties. I mean, did you all get that direct funding yet from ARPA? Anybody got their direct funding that didn't go through the state? Anybody got that? Nobody? You know, the direct money, ARPA money that came to you and that you can start working with families right away, get roads and sewers done and get food distributions to people who may need it, help people with evictions. We were able to work with our federal government through NACO to make sure that you got a direct line of funding. I tried, and I was at the White House South Lawn yesterday, and I was trying to tell them, Mr. President, now, if you give the $1.2 trillion directly to the counties, we would have a road with you to help. We get a road paved in about a week. And we invite President Biden and whoever you want to come down there. But if you keep going through the state now, we have to wait a little bit. But you all have made a difference and shown throughout what we can do if we get direct allocations. So thank y'all again. Give yourself another great hand. And you are the owners of NACO. We are here because of you. And anything that you would like to see done and make a difference. And I tell you, get in what you put out. If you engage, you involve, guess what? You're going to get a lot out of it. And so, please, you all, if you have not joined a committee or subcommittee, talk to the people that I have appointed to these roles because they are very significant roles from water to health to working with membership and recruitment. If you're not at the table, I tell the folks in Georgia, you're going to be on the menu. So you got to be at the table to help make decisions. And so please join as much as we can. Every day we try to educate decision makers in Washington, D.C. about the key roles that citizen lives play. Many decisions in Washington directly affect counties, even when they seem unrelated on the surface. NACo's mission is to strengthen America's counties and make sure that county voice is heard and respected in policymaking roles. And me as a county commissioner, and my county is Dekalb County. We're like the fourth largest county. So if you ever heard of CDC and Stone Mountain, all of that is in Dekalb County. And my district about 150,000 residents, and we go from $1 million houses to houses worth about $100,000. So I got everybody in between. And so what we've seen with this ARPA funding, Mr. President, is that we've had to do more food distribution lines than we've ever had before, where you now see middle class folks who need help with fresh fruits and vegetables and boxes of food. And through ARPA, we've been able to do that. But we led with public safety first in our county, and we did about $3,000 bonuses for our fire, police, 911, marshals. And we wanted to make sure because they were on the front line and they didn't get a day off. Even though I see, we on the Hollywood Squares, I call it the Zoom. You everybody on Hollywood Squares, and you get your special square when you get the talk and the light pop up. But they really make it happen for us. And so ARPA has really been there. And then we also helped our seniors. We have a lot of folks in DeKalb who own septic tanks, and they could not afford to get onto our sewer lines. And with the funding that we received from ARPA, you dealing with seniors on fixed income. I tell people all the time, never forget where you come from. And we got to make sure we take care of our seniors, and we're able to use some of that funding to help them connect to our sewers. And you can imagine what our seniors have been happy about because who can afford $7,000 to $8,000 to connect the sewers on the fixed income? But now we're able to lower the cost and make it better and affordable for them to make things happen. And I tell people about this Chinese proverb: you give a person a fish they eat for a day, you teach them how to fish, they eat for a lifetime. But our job as county officials to give access to the stream, because if you don't have access to the stream, you won't be able to get us nowhere. And so having access to ARPA funds through NACO has allowed that to happen. So I just thank you for that. Our success as a nation is also dependent on the virus, defeating this virus, and depends on our leadership at federal and local levels. So part of it is to make sure we have this intergovernmental partnership and working with NACO and counties to help America move from COVID response to recovery. And with our membership and with your membership, we've helped to secure, like I said earlier, the largest single direct investment the counties will make. Throughout our advocacy, NACo has fought for very specific elements of the American Rescue Plan. So if you ever have a question, we're at the table with the Treasury Department. We've had over 1,000 questions that were fielded from many of you all in this room, and we're helping to write the regs for the get the final Treasury timeline out. So if you ever have questions about Treasury and how to spend the funding, please don't hesitate to call NACo. We want to be there for you to make sure that you have the best and latest and greatest real-time information to make it happen for you and your county, because we want the citizens to get the best that they can afford as well. It's about bipartisanship with us. We had leaders in the House and Senate usually agree to the overall dollar amount in the bill, but then work backwards in deciding where to invest those dollars. And NACo's focus is to make sure that the counties are not left behind and making sure that we ensure our counterparts understand the investments that we make every day. As you all are catalysts and conveners in your community, I mean, you get a chance, you go to the grocery store, you may have a town hall meeting at the freezer section. How many of y'all had it? I mean, a town hall. Then you might go to the bakery session and have another town hall. And if you got your wife or your spouse with you, they looking at you saying, man, the ice cream is about to melt. But see, when you're competing against next door, and you're competing against social media, you have to make sure you respond to your citizens in real time. And the uniqueness about county government now, you have probably 4 generations in the workplace: the boomers, the Xers, the millennials, then the Y and the Z. And so you have all these different learning styles that are now in the workplace. And you have to have a place like NACo where you can come and get some understanding on how to relate. I mean, I have a 30-year-old daughter who moved home, and I became the dad who had to go to the door and pick up the packages. Amazon, UPS, FedEx. I said, "What are you doing? I still got to go to the store." And she said, "Oh, Dad, you know how kids know everything." And so she said, I said, "Man, the internet and what your governor talked about in broadband is so important. We got a whole group and generation who will never go to the store." I mean, DoorDash and Grubhub became a facet at my house. Isn't that something? I said, you don't never go out to eat and all that. No, it's right here. And so the internet and broadband plays a key role. And so that's very significant. And so NACo has decided to create a blueprint with our past president, Judge Moore, which has done a great job. And it's called NACo.org/broadband, NACo.org/broadband. Please, you all read that report and make it happen. And because in my district, we have about 19% of the folks who don't have internet, and so they end up at McDonald's or Wendy's and sitting in the parking lot or in the dining area just to use the internet. And so it's important that we spend this money and making sure that we can just really just equalize from workforce to small farms to rural communities and make things happen. I think that's important as we do that. And so I just want to say in closing, please, you all, I'm doing something called Tell Your Story. I think it's important that you tell your story as county officials. I would love to hear your story so we can share it with the world. And so please, you all, if you ever have a story on how you've done things around small businesses, how you've impacted COVID, and how you're just bringing communities together, share it with me at NACo so we can make sure we send it to the world. And what I've learned through my travels and what I've learned from North Dakota, South Dakota, I've been to Utah, that no one county is the same. And I've learned that just if I just stayed in DeKalb County and just worked among my county commissioners in my area, I lose something by not finding value by connecting with each person in this room. So you get more value by connecting with other people in other counties. So I'm just asking you, please come to our NACo conference, February 12th through the 16th in DC. And now if you want to come early, now you can come to DeKalb County, Georgia. We'll be there December 1st through the 4th. We got fish and grits, and we got good weather, and we got a little hometown feel. We're gonna be in the city of Decatur, which is about 19,000 residents. But you get a chance to learn from other folks, and you get to make sure that you are building a community. So please come. My initiative is Thrive this year. One is focusing on technology, broadband, as well as tools to expand broadband and bridge the digital divide. We also have the H, which is health. Health is your wealth, and I talked about that earlier. The R stands for readiness, laying the groundwork for good governance and the county workforce of the future. The I stands for infrastructure, and I had a chance to be part of the signing on yesterday. But this $1.2 billion infrastructure that's coming to counties for roads, for bridges, for transit, for buses, for broadband, you're about to get the type of investments that you only see in once in a lifetime. So please make sure you take advantage of that. V stands for vulnerable populations. How do we advance equity and inclusion and diversity in our communities and reimagine the safety net for underserved communities? The E stands for economic opportunities, removing the barriers for economic mobility and creating conditions for all of us to compete in the 21st century. NACo is your national nonpartisan association. We stand ready to support you in whatever you have to do and to make a difference in our community. And I'm just so proud of Virginia and what you all have been able to do through your president and dean's leadership, who are making a difference. But don't hesitate to call on us for any questions and things that you need to get done in your community, because this organization, NACo, stands by you and for you to make sure that Washington knows that we have a voice. And so I got a commission meeting at 10, so I may step back out and get back for lunch, but you got to always take care of home first, y'all. So thank y'all for your support. Thank you for your guidance and whatever NACo can do. I'm your president, Larry Johnson. And I thank you so much. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah.